next week, there will be a fatal four-way to determine the number one contender to Brian Cage's NXT Championship. And take a look at that, Hideo Itami with an eye on the global champion. Tony Nese and Noam Dar are the number one contenders to the NXT Tag Team titles. Shayna Baszler, Toni Storm. Here we go. That's Mercedes Martinez as Storm screams in agony. A new force has arrived to NXT. Hello and welcome, Universe Mode. This is NXT. We are, of course, on our way to NXT TakeOver Chicago, taking place the night before Money in the Bank. And we learned some big news last week. There will be a number one contenders match here tonight. Fatal four-way coming up in our main event, and a big one at that. Tomohiro Ishii, Jeff Cobb, Jay Lethal, and an unnamed fourth participant will compete for the right to challenge Brian Cage for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Chicago. That is coming up in our main event of the evening, but we open things up with the manager and the leader of the number one contenders to the NXT Tag Team titles, Bret the Hitman Hart, who of course last week got himself victory over Stone Cold Steve Austin and his group in order to make sure that his men would be going to TakeOver Chicago. It was a big win for Bret. It was one that he celebrated the night on. He was proud of his men, and his statement continues to be true that they are on their way to TakeOver and nothing is going to stop them either. Bret the Hitman Hart clearly was something that he wants to say here tonight. Stone Cold behind them, of course, and now the task is set on June 15th from the Tag Team Champions. And Bret Hart getting across the point that he told everyone it would happen. And the future NXT Tag Team Champions are well on their way. No one will stop them at TakeOver Chicago. Stone Cold was beaten. Hardy and Pentagon will be beaten as well. Bret the Hitman Hart fully confident of taking the Tag Team titles away from the Broken Brilliance. And someone may just have something to say about that. That being one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions himself, and oh, hello, there he is, Matt Hardy. The broken Matt Hardy in the ring, right in front of Bret the Hitman Hart. And having arrived from the multiverse, calling him Heartman, Hardy says the words of Bret Hart are wrong. They must be cleansed for being wrong. They must feel the core of the foundation shaken. They must be made obsolete at TakeOver Chicago. Bret the Hitman Hart clearly feeling offended about being called Heartman. And Bret is making sure that Hardy listens to his plan. There is no way that Hardy and the pesky sidekick, that is either bravery or stupidity to call Pentagon Jr. a sidekick, will leave Chicago with those tag team titles. And Bret believes he can go as far as proving that it won't happen. Next week, he's saying that Pentagon Jr. in a match and Hitman will get one of his men in a match. Random opponents, and they might learn how little chance they have then. Bret Hart wants to prove that even with no known opponent in front of them, the new foundation are better than the multiverse's Hardy and Pentagon Jr. And Hardy did not take kindly of his multiverse being talked ill of. For that, they will accept it. It doesn't matter who the opponent is for Hardy, be it Heath Slater or Brian Cage, Pentagon Jr. will beat them. And Bret Hart will learn to be afraid, and at TakeOver, they will be deleted. Hardy with a point to say right there before the match, and a very interesting proponent made ahead of next week. Pentagon Jr. will face a random opponent. Either Noam Dar or Tony Nese will do the same, all to prove who are the better side heading into TakeOver. An interesting way to kick off the evening. But now we get into our in-ring action here on NXT, and we actually kick things off with a big opportunity for TJP as he goes one-on-one against the NXT Global Champion, Lio Rush. Big chance for TJP in this one. Proved pretty hopeful in his NXT debut a few weeks back, and now he gets the chance to really show what he's made of in this contest as he goes one-on-one. I mean, it's a true benchmark to see where you are when you take on Lio Rush, so we'll see how that'll go. And who knows, we could have the NXT Global Championship match set for TakeOver in just a moment, because all TJP has to do is beat Lio Rush, which is certainly easier said than done. TJP, though, looking to make the most of this opportunity here tonight, looking to make something happen here. I wonder what he can do. He had a good start to his tenure on NXT a few weeks back, but how will he cope against the man of the hour, against the NXT Global Champion, against the man with a bright future ahead of him in this universe in Lio Rush? Rush is ready to go in this one. When was the last time we saw him in action? A few weeks back? Was it 2? Oh, it was last week, wasn't it? Last week we saw Rush in action. Picked up a victory, I can't remember over who right now. But Rush got his win, and we saw as he was celebrating his win that Hideo Itami had a close eye on it backstage. Whether or not Itami sees that as his next plan, maybe, as his next objective, we do not know. But what we know is that Lio Rush is always going to have eyes on him as the NXT Global Champion. That's always going to be a case that the man of the hour is going to have to overcome, and I think Rush kind of knows that now. Long enough into his reign, 6 months into his reign as NXT Global Champion, currently the longest reigning champion in NXT, and might even have, I think he does actually have the second longest reign in this universe right now. That is something when you compare it to the now 21 months that Seth Rollins has held the ECW Championship. 6-21. But I'm pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, that Rush is in second place. So well done to him for having the second longest reign as it stands in this universe. But right now, you might not care about a record like that, because he's got to focus on taking care of TJP here. TJP, who of course made his way down from ECW to NXT, never really got anything going for him on ECW, so a new opening for him here in NXT could be what's necessary of him. I also apologize if throughout this show you hear disgusting noises of me snorting. Seems to become a commonality now once every couple of months to get a cold during a busy week. I think it's all this traveling. Why did we agree to go to New Zealand? I have no idea. Oh, he hit the dab. Excellent. This match is absolutely dead in the water. Absolutely ruined it now, TJP. Rush responding there with a forearm in the face. That's what he thinks of your dab. Trading chops with one another there. This is a great chance, though, for TJP. I know I've said this a few times, but you cannot ignore how important of an opportunity it is. Rush, though, going to get through his head that it is not going to be easy to beat the global champion. Something that very few have done since he's won that title. Brian Cage and Tyler Bate are two of the very few names that I can think who have achieved that. Up to the top rope now goes Lio Rush, looking to go high risk early on, looking for a double foot stomp. TJP was already rolling, just had to roll a little more. Momentum carrying him out of that one. Rush comes flying in, didn't really get all of that. Brushed TJP enough to take him off his feet. Clobbers him down as well. Rush going up high here after connecting with that splash in the corner. Looks for the double foot stomp again. Good thing about it is all he has to do is roll forward, and he is safe from a hard landing. TJP, snap me. Oh, raking the boot across the face there. No respect from TJP whatsoever, and that may have something to do with his frustration of now being in NXT, but in all fairness, he kind of brought it upon himself. He did not deliver. You know, there were guys in the Cruiserweight division like Mustafa Ali, Zack Sabre Jr., of course. Oh, there's a whirlwind kick from Lio Rush. He is setting things up to end TJP here, handing him his first loss on NXT. Twisting kill switch. Cover made. Lio Rush has won it. TJP was trying, but it seemed as if he struggled to get out of the starting gate. TJP just never really got it going. Rush did, and he claimed an all-important victory, but oh, look who had a close eye on this one. Hideo Itami taking things one step further, standing on the ramp, looking at the champion and maybe sending him a message. Well, you want to talk about messages being sent? There was one huge one sent last week in the main event. That was from none other than this woman, Mercedes Martinez, arriving in this universe and aligning herself with Shayna Baszler, assaulting Toni Storm in their main event. Storm thought she might have had the match won until Martinez came charging through the crowd, and as we saw, the show ended with Martinez standing over Shayna Baszler as she choked out Toni Storm. But Martinez and Baszler have arrived in an all-important and an all-emphatic way to NXT. I think it'll be the best way of putting it. And Mercedes Martinez will look to make her impacts felt, not charging through the crowd this time, but charging right at Mickie James and looking to put her away. So let's see how this one goes in Martinez's debut match in this universe. We saw her in the Mae Young Classic earlier in the year. She a quarterfinalist, I believe. Well, wherever she was, Shayna Baszler certainly liked the look of Mercedes Martinez, certainly saw a future in Martinez and has made sure that she aligns herself with her. And I mean, it was one hell of an impact that was made. The assault on Storm. Storm had never seen that coming and just brutally attacked from behind. She said to Baszler, strike me at face value, and Baszler said yes to it. But Storm never saw that coming. I wonder if it was a part of Baszler's game plan all along, when she knew she got the rematch, to make sure that Martinez would be there to secure a proving point. Of course, Storm won that match by disqualification, but it really was Baszler and Martinez who had the final say. Like I said, Storm not... Well, I don't know if I said Storm not here tonight. So this is all about Martinez and Baszler proving a point. Counter there over Mickie James, who will be looking to try and test Martinez, looking to try and beat her here. Looking for a belly to belly maybe, and it's stopped in its tracks by Martinez, who sends Mickie James up and over the top rope and to the outside. Things not looking too good right now for the veteran. Martinez been throwing her around, I think, dodging the clothesline in the corner, the drop kick or whatever it was, and that striker there may well be all of Mickie James's offense as she is sent face first into the apron there. Baszler with a very close eye as she witnesses her newest ally dismantling Mickie James right now. Back in the ring she comes here, and she is giving Mickie James no chance to try and recover here. Small package of all things, rolling up Mickie James, trying to put her away. Oh, got close, kick out of two. Leg scissors now, or leg triangle lock rather. Mickie James kicking, she's not near the rope, she's gonna have to fight down in her own way. Can she pull that off? Yes, she can, slips her way out of it. Nicely done there. Look at that, another counter though by Martinez, and here it comes, fisherman suplex. The viciousness in that strike will have finished off Mickie James. Welcome to NXT, Mercedes Martinez. Victory achieved in her debut, and you would be not far from hard pressed to imagine the Toni Storm, even if she wasn't here, had a close eye on this one. A close eye on her rivals. Sped through that one there already. Heading into the tag team matchup this evening. That was the first of two women's matches coming up here tonight. Rhea, Ripley and Charlotte in action later on. But as for right now, tag team action, we may already have the #1 contenders determined for the NXT tag team titles. The tag team division looking to show that it's got an impressive amount of weight, depth, and maybe already looking ahead to out of TakeOver to who will be the next challengers for those tag team titles, whomever may hold them. The Usos against Perfect right now. Two fine tag teams. The Usos certainly have shown with their debut win over the Street Profits that they have what it takes to walk in to this brand and to really make a statement. We'll see if that'll happen or not, but as for right now, the Usos are ready to go against Ty Dillinger and EC3. It's going to be a good proving match. I mean, the Street Profits, they've been learning, you know, they've been improving in NXT. They've been trying to get better week in and week out, whereas on the flip side of things, you look at the Usos, or you look at Perfect rather, my apologies, and you realize that these are a duo. These two guys are a duo who already know what it's like to be in this universe. EC3 is one of the most successful tag team wrestlers this universe has ever seen. I think he has the longest reigning ECW tag team title reign. I think he has, because he did it across quite a few tag team partners, like 2 of them, but he held them for about 6 or 7 months. He was ECW tag team champion, sorry. But I would say that in NXT, EC3 and Dillinger especially have been kind of reborn. They've been reinvented in many ways. They have found their edge once again, and that's been leading them towards success. But it's like they've hit a road bump as of late. It's like they've been unable to get that one step further to get what is necessary of them to achieve the heights that they want to. I think that might be the best way of putting it. It just feels like it had a great start. They were undefeated for the longest time, failed to become the #1 contenders, and then it's kind of sunk down over these last 3 months maybe. And EC3 will definitely be looking to change that around. He knows there's a good future for him in this universe, and he knows that in order for that to happen, he has to get out of NXT. That's not meant as a talking ill of NXT. Obviously it is a great brand, and we all know the stars that have come from NXT, but what I mean is that you can become a great name on NXT, yes, but that doesn't result in being a great name in this universe. That's the simplest way to put it right now. You have to do more to show that you're a great name in this universe. For example, Kazuchika Okada. Great name in this universe. Yes, he was a long-reigning NXT champion, but of course he went on to win the Royal Rumble, to main event WrestleMania, to hold the WWE Championship twice, to become the ace of SmackDown Live. That is what has made Okada so great. And EC3, Dillinger, and co. will be hoping to get to that level, but they can't do it just by staying in NXT. They have to get better, and the only way you're going to get out of NXT is by catching the eye of the 3 general managers, myself, Christian James, Mr. Dredge. That's the only way you're going to get out of NXT, and you're not going to get that if you are losing week in and week out. EC3 knows that, and he knows that if things don't turn around sooner rather than later for Perfect, I think heads will roll, and of course it's not going to be EC3's head that's going to roll, it's going to be Dillinger's head that will roll. So it's a very important reality in many ways for Perfect and for the Usos that they have to do well if they want a future around here. It's that simple. Bell rings are underway here. It's going to be Jimmy Uso starting things off against Ty Dillinger. Good cheers for the Usos here in the Hammerstein Ballroom as we get underway. Certainly the Usos collecting a little bit of a fan base for them as this matchup gets going. Snake Guy's in the corner early on. Very aggressive start from Jimmy Uso. Kicking the leg there by Dillinger. Nice atomic drop there, and following it up, stun gun. Dillinger will be looking to prove that he still has plenty left to offer, that he can still give a exactly what EC3 needs. I mean, they're called Perfect for a reason. He's the perfect 10 for a reason. I mean, he needs to prove it Tag made. In comes Jey Uso now, holding him up in the turnbuckle. Jey comes charging in with that big leaping forearm. Nice tag team work there from the Usos. Thrust kick right in the gut there. And again, that time follows up with a throat chop. Or a throat uppercut, rather. A chop uppercut, that's the one I was looking for. And down went Ty Dillinger, but he's back up to his feet now. Has Jey Uso in his grasp, looking to capitalize here. Maybe looking to send Uso. No, wait, snapmares him down, kicks him in the back, but Jey Uso just kind of shrugging that one off. Went for a super kick again there. Dillinger just, all he had to do is a little step to the side. Jey Uso had put too much into it, really. And momentum carried him. Tag made. In comes EC3 now. What can the top 1% do here? Good tag team work from both men. As this matchup continues on right now. Wait a minute. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm receiving word that we are about to hear from the NXT General Manager. Logan Wayne apparently has an emergency announcement that he wants to make, so we're going to go backstage and hear from him now. Some huge news there from Logan Wayne. Very interesting indeed. Baszler versus Storm signed for TakeOver. That's going to be a huge one. They will meet once more and they will be deciding this once and for all. And since that moment has passed, it's Ty Dillinger, as you can see, his tag back in. And it is still a pretty perfect controlled match right now. Jey Uso not really been able to get that much offense in since the announcement. Basically just been kept pinned down on the mat, sorry. Here we go now. Jey Uso, they were able to get the tag in a Jimmy Uso. And it may be a desperation move here from the Usos. Uso splash connected. The cover won't be made. But EC3 will be taken care of. EC3 locked to the outside. Jey Uso back on the apron. Jimmy Uso with a tequila sunrise locked in now. Oh, Ty Dillinger. Dillinger nowhere near the ropes. This is not going to be good here. And he has no choice but to tap out. The Usos victorious. In the midst of that huge announcement made by Logan Wayne, the Usos claim victory and continue their role, continue running things on NXT. Looking to see what will happen as this goes on. Will these guys be on their way to the challenging for the NXT Tag Team titles following Chicago? Time will only tell. I'll tell you what though, that announcement being made has certainly helped out a certain someone regarding getting themselves to what they want, and that of course is going to be the number one contendership to the NXT Women's Championship. Storm and Baszler meeting for the titles, and them arguably being two of the top contenders for that title. It now opens it up for Rhea Ripley. I think it was 2 weeks ago she said it. Ripley stated to Io Shirai things weren't done between her and Trifecta. Ripley was going to finish while Blanchard and Gabbett started. And if Storm and Baszler are fighting, who is left to fight Ripley? Who is left to stop her from getting her hands on Shirai? Well, that could be given a major dent here tonight if Charlotte is able to defeat her here. Charlotte are going to be looking for a win over Rhea Ripley. These two women, I believe, have met in the past, I think. So this is a very interesting contest between these two. Charlotte has had her run-ins with Trifecta in the past. And with Rhea Ripley flying the flag of Trifecta, of course, on NXT now, with Blanchard and Gabbett on the main roster, looking to make them their statement, looking to make it apparent on Monday Night Raw. It is, of course, Rhea Ripley's duty here on NXT to win that title back. She said she made a promise to Blanchard and Gambit before they moved on to Monday Night Raw that she would take that NXT Championship back for Trifecta. And she wants to do it, it seems, at TakeOver Chicago. Rhea Ripley ready to go in this one. And I am excited to see what she can do here. And I do wonder if Io Shirai has an eye on this one or not. If Io Shirai will be looking at what takes place in this matchup. Should be an interesting one indeed, as we await to see just what will happen between these two women right now. You know, very interesting night so far of NXT action. I mean, the action has been the talking point, but we definitely have some talking points of our own to take away from this. I mean, you have Itami staring down Lio Rush. You have the announcement made about Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler, and of course the Bret Hart and Matt Hardy meeting at the start of the evening. Wonder how that's going to go next week. Pentagon Jr. and whichever member of the new foundation ends up being will be in two separate singles matches. They'll have random opponents chosen. So, you know, we could have, I think Hardy said it himself, we could have Pentagon Jr. against Heath Slater. We could also get something like Tony Nese versus Brian Cage. We don't really know how that's going to go. We'll have to wait and see for next week. And by next week, of course, we'll also have the number one contender to the NXT Championship determined. I mean, by the end of tonight, we'll have the number one contender for that title determined as well. So that's going to be a very interesting scenario to see coming up next. That huge fatal four-way. Who will face Cage for the title at TakeOver Chicago? Right now, it seems there is only one who has a grasp on the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. That is Rhea Ripley, but Charlotte will be looking to try and take that away from her, to try and test her, to try and prove that she should be the number one contender. Huge chop from Charlotte there. And the turnbuckle we go now for Rhea Ripley. What has Charlotte got in mind here? I think she was just trying to get a breather. Hard slap in the face there. Grabs the legs into a neck breaker. Cover made by Charlotte here, looking to try and put away Rhea Ripley. Referee's hand was only coming down for two there. Didn't seem like there was much of a chance of victory. Rhea Ripley now, her aggression shining through. This is where Ripley gets so dangerous, just the viciousness that she puts into every move. Big back suplex though by Charlotte. She is still continuing to go here. Charlotte now wanted to back down. She knows how important this win could be. This could help determine the number one contender to the NXT Women's title. Charlotte looks for a lariat. Great evasion there by Ripley to get herself out of it. Snapmare Charlotte down there. That was an aggressive snapmare as well, because Ripley stayed upright, so Charlotte had to go over the shoulder of Ripley, which Ripley must stand at near enough 6 foot tall. Nice jawbreaker there by by Charlotte. Ripley counters her right away into the Boston Crab right now. Another submission for Charlotte in this one. She's going through a lot of pain. Ripley looking to hurt the body of Charlotte and make it as tough as possible for Charlotte to have any chance of a fight for victory as this matchup progresses on. Charlotte though, like father like daughter, relying on her chops there to create an opening. Abdominal stretched out from Ripley. Another submission hold. Ripley just yanking on it. Really sinking in that hold. But look at this work by Charlotte. Gets herself out of that one. Kick in the gut now. Opening for Charlotte. She'll take full advantage of it. Neckbreaker. Ripley's legs getting caught up in the rope there. That can't have been a nice landing at all. Drags her towards the middle of the ring. Charlotte sees an opening. And she's capitalizing on it. Spear from Charlotte. Ripley in trouble. Middle of the ring. Nowhere to turn. And Charlotte's going to look for a huge win right now. Because he sits it in. Figure eight. Figure eight. Figure eight leg lock. High angle. Legs crossed over. The damage being done there to the knee of Rhea Ripley. She won't tap out. Ripley sees the opening and escapes the hold. Great work by Rhea Ripley there, keeping herself in it. Charlotte, though, this could be her match to win. Great counter from Rhea Ripley. Back elbow. Forearm from Charlotte, down goes Ripley. This match really starting to pick up now. Up to the top rope goes Charlotte. Moonsault! And the cover is made. Will it be enough? What a kick out. Chinlock being applied now. Charlotte looking to do everything possible to put away Rhea Ripley here. Trying for the victory. Turnabout is fair play now. She's the one locking in all the submission holds. Ripley fights her way out of it. Counters the kick. And Charlotte going to the outside. She landed aggressively as well. That was not a nice landing for Charlotte at all. Good evasion there from Charlotte though. Drop kicks Ripley into the apron now. This is what we've been wanting to see. This fire, this fight from Charlotte. Ripley though, once again, putting a dent on it. Charlotte quick up to her feet. Ripley catches it there. And Ripley in now. Full Nelson slam from Ripley. Way up, way down. Ripley thinks she's done it. Hugh, will it be? Oh, it's a kick out at 2. Charlotte is still alive. But that could have changed an awful lot in this. Look at this now. Ripley unloading away. Clotheslines. Leaping clothesline. Down goes Charlotte there. And almost with victory. And again, a great up in the air. What are we going to see here from Rhea Ripley? Holding Charlotte up in the air like it's nothing. Delayed vertical suplex incoming here. She got all of it. With ease, Charlotte up to her feet though. Walks right into another. Full Nelson slam. And Rhea Ripley has done it. Victorious over Charlotte. And now you have to ask the question, is there anyone in the way of Ripley and her shot at the NXT Women's title? Will it be Ripley and Shayna take over Chicago? As it stands, I don't see any other possible outcome. Rhea Ripley, your winner. And while we ponder over the fate of the NXT Women's Championship, we will have the #1 contender to the NXT Championship decided here tonight. Ishii, Cobb, Lethal, and whoever that 4th participant may be, the winner faces Brian Cage. Strap yourselves in, this is going to be a big time main event. 2 horses, an incredible athlete, and an unknown 4th. Has this all for the making of a great main event. Tomohiro Ishii coming here off the back of a few victories under his belt. Ishii found his momentum again and he's been really raking in the wins. And I do wonder what will come for Ishii in this one. Ishii versus Cage, I think we saw it back at TakeOver Philadelphia in January. God, they hit each other hard in that one. I remember that. They threw lumps at one another. Ishii knows what it's like to face Brian Cage, and he'll be looking on this opportunity to be the first man in this universe to have beaten him. But this guy will be looking for that chance as well. For weeks now, maybe even months, I've talked about how great Lethal is, but how he just hasn't tapped into it. And I think coming out of WrestleMania weekend, he's tapped into it. He's woken up and he knows where he is. He knows what he's doing. And Lethal has suddenly found that edge that he was lacking. Now Jay Lethal is 1 match away from facing Brian Cage, and he may not have the power of a Jeff Cobb or an Ishii, but he has that wrestling smart. So whereas Cage can throw him around the ring, Lethal has such a high ring IQ that he can find his openings. He can work over Cage and he can beat him over time. The only problem I may have with that idea is it was the same kind of tactic that Tyler Bate had heading into TakeOver New Orleans. It was the same kind of style that he wrestles, and Cage threw him around the ring. Lethal will have to find an edge that they don't have, that Bate didn't have at New Orleans, if he wants to beat Brian Cage. But of course, to do that, he's got to win this Fatal 4-Way. I think Lethal could be the favorite in this one, but so too could this guy. Jeff Cobb has had one hell of an impact since arriving to NXT as well, so this should be a very, very interesting contest. I'm looking forward to seeing where this one will lead us. Cobb has had his run-ins in the past with Ishii. They met to see who would qualify for King of the Ring. Ishii beat Cobb on that evening, and Cobb will be looking for revenge. And Cobb, of course, coming out of WrestleMania weekend, he had his win over Hangman Page at TakeOver New Orleans. So there's definitely an element to Jeff Cobb that he is ready to go here, that he is ready to achieve this victory. He's been on the rise over these last few weeks and months in the same way that Jay Lethal has. But I see, well, we do have to hold out. I've talked about all three guys, but I do not know who this fourth one could be. This could be embarrassing for me. This could be about to be very embarrassing for me. From ECW, it's The Miz. In his first match on NXT, Logan Wayne sees the chance for The Miz to become the #1 contender to the NXT Championship. And meanwhile, I had him drafted to me, and I instantly sent him down to NXT. I could be about to eat my words. We'll see. Miz has... See, the thing is about The Miz, though, the problem is that when he was on SmackDown Live as well, he was just nowhere. He had his entrance, he had everything going for him, and he was just falling flat every single time. It felt like that was all that ever happened for The Miz. And so, now The Miz really has the opportunity to prove me wrong. He really has the opportunity to shut me up here tonight, and I will say, he could do it. He really could do it. But in order to make that happen, of course, he's got to win this Fatal 4-Way, and I think he's got to win it convincingly, because at the end of the day, all four of these guys have to win this match convincingly, because there is a machine awaiting them in Chicago. There is a heart that doesn't stop beating for a fight. There is a champion for everyone to be afraid of in Brian Cage. If I had to pick right now, I'm torn. I think it'll either be Cobb or Lethal in this one. I think Ishii is... There always seems to be a side. You always want to see Big Match Ishii, but then it always seems like when he's at that point where he could unleash Big Match Ishii, he doesn't, and he misses the opportunity. The Miz, I still think, has plenty to prove on NXT, and even if he did get the opportunity of the title, I think he would lose. Cobb and Lethal are at that edge right now where it could be either one of these guys, and they could both test Brian Cage, both take him to the limit. I could be totally wrong. We could see Ishii win this one. We could see finally the emergence of Big Match Ishii. Could also be that The Miz steals one. Anything's possible. Torture rack. Just dropping him there on the outside by Ishii on Cobb. Meanwhile in the ring, Lethal's trying to steal a cover there over The Miz as the two horses were going at it on the outside. Come on, no, don't. Ishii. I was just getting excited for the horses to start squaring off one another. Yes, roll up. Miz and Lethal can fight each other out as much as they like. I want to see the horses fight. Discus forearm from Ishii. My apologies if I get a little bit sidetracked by the horses. If anyone knows this universe, if anyone... You know I like a horse match. You know I like a horse fight. Cobb rolling to the outside there, Ishii. Oh, socked there by The Miz. definitely proving his point right now as he's going on the aggressive right now. He's going after all sides, targeting everyone here. And he's being sent out of the ring. Ishii downing everyone. Big Tom is alive. Big match Ishii is alive here. Lethal rolls back in the ring. Looking for a belly to belly on Ishii. Now Cobb and the Miz squaring off on the outside. Cobb rolled back in the ring there by the Miz. Oh, great counter, that discus forearm there by Lethal. Saw the opening, like I talked about. He sees the opening and he goes for it. All it took was a simple smack and Ishii was discombobulated. But Ishii could be about to become the number one contender. Brainbuster. But Lethal in the ropes. And a breath can be let out by Miz and Cobb there. He may not have realized what was going on. Look at this. By Jeff Cobb. Deadlift. Back suplex. Could have even been a deadlift German. Followed through with it. It was like he gut-wrenched him. Oh, yes. Oh, cheer the ring, guys. Cobb wants the fight. Come on. Come on, Ishii. Don't tease me like this. Big time throw there by Lethal. Nicely done. Oh my goodness, face first into the barricade. In the ring now, Lethal. Look at this, has him up on the shoulder. Lethal injection! Caught him out of the blue with it. Jay Lethal planted Cobb and goes to the top rope now. He may see an opening, but so too does the Miz. Ishii rolls out of the ring. Oh, Cobb a victim from all angles. From behind, Miz now. Shinbreaker. And a Russian leg sweep from the Miz as well. Down goes Lethal. This is Miz's match now. Everyone taking turns, knocking down everyone, it would seem. First Ishii, now Miz. Kick out of one there by Lethal. Oh, yes. Lock-ons. Yes. German suplex from Ishii. Hangs on in there. Rainmaker. Well, calling out to his friend there. Oh, look at that. Trading discus forearms. They went either side of one another. That was poetic. Looking at you, Brian Cage. Drill claw from Ishii. Oh, and they're sharing the ring again. Big time slam. Yes. More of this. Ishii and Cobb just wanting to fight one another right now. Ishii gave up his back there. Twisting back suplex from Cobb. The Stone Pitbull goes down as a result of it. Miz looking to steal an opportunity. Kicks him in the leg. DDT there. Ishii sent with a huge amount of impact into the mat. Lethal coming back in the ring now. Oh, Cobb responding with a hard forearm. To the outside goes the Miz. And so too does Jay Lethal. Cobb now. What is Cobb gonna do here? Oh my goodness, no. Taking all risks to win. Powerbomb! Ishii look to try to capitalize on the Miz there. Sent face first at the LED board, and look at how quickly Ishii's back up to his feet. Gonna go for a powerbomb. Cobb counters it. Lethal could be in huge trouble though. After that powerbomb on the apron, Lethal could be in agony. Lethal, no, never mind. Incredible heart from Lethal. Gotta give him credit for that. He's still up on his feet. He's still fighting, and he's sending Miz back in the ring as well. Not only is he fighting, he's looking to still win this one. Oh my goodness, I'm distracted. Ishii and Cobb are fighting one another. Ishii, great strength, has him up on his shoulders, no counter. Oh, skull-crushing finale! Skull-crushing finale from the Miz behind the horse's back, maybe. No, Cobb read it, away and ready to capitalize. Great work there from the former Olympian. Wrench. Gutbuster now, and Lethal goes down. Cobb controlling the ring. Only one man sharing it with him, and he could be about to be beaten. Tour of the Islands. Jeff Cobb to seal the deal for takeover. Oh, what a kick out from Lethal. What a kick out at 2 there from Jay Lethal. Saving himself. Oh, Lethal. Oh my goodness, Miz knocked Kieran for Cobb's move. Wanted to get his own in. Socked him with it. Kick out at 2. Miz turns around Ishii. I thought he might have been planning another skull crushing finale. Gets in that shin breaker again. Ishii goes down. Shoulder tackle and Miz goes down. Oh, hard chop in the chest there. Discus forearm from Ishii. Lights up the jaw of the Miz. All 4 men back in the ring now. It's been a great fatal 4-way. One of these guys is going to become the number 1 contender. And you feel as if it could happen in these next few minutes. Oh, a big slam there from Cobb. Ishii rolls to the apron. And Jay Lethal now looking to take full advantage. Lethal injection! Ishii breaks up the pin and in the moment takes down Cobb as well. Lethal up, calling Miz up to his feet. Ishii not interested. Headbutt into the collarbone there. Ishii, is he seeking a brain buster? He is! Ishii covers for the shot. Cobb makes the save. And that took all of Jeff Cobb, all that he had left in him to make that save. Incredible, sensational main event here. Back suplex. Oh, just threw him away. Cobb has Lethal in his sights once again. Tour of the Islands connects once more. Ishii planted with it. Second time Cobb's got it in this match, but Lethal storms the ring. Lethal keeping the hopes alive for everyone because it denied Cobb the chance to get the 3 count. Miz is down, Ishii is down, Lethal is still standing, as too is Cobb. Oh, never mind. Lethal taken off his feet with that stun gun. Lariat attempt there, countered by Ishii. Well read. And the Stone Pitbull now goes out to the apron. What the hell is Ishii going to do here? Neckbreaker! On me, using the ropes for that one. Skull crushing finale. Ishii stopped it. Great save from Ishii. That could have been all right then and there. Miz rolls out of the ring. Cobb rolled out of the ring. Ishii left alone with Lethal now. Discus forearm. Cobb, though, up to his feet, breaks the cover. Oh my goodness, Ishii in huge trouble. Electric chair, German suplex. Ishii's down, Miz is down, Lethal up to his feet, only to be planted once more. Tour of the Islands. Jeff Cobb is the number 1 contender. And Cobb will face Brian Cage at TakeOver Chicago for the NXT Championship. Oh my hoss! Jeff Cobb, Brian Cage, June 15th, NXT Championship on the line. I can't wait, and neither can the champion. There he stands on the ramp, title in hand. Brian Cage and Jeff Cobb will meet for the title. And Cobb walking to his champion, maybe walking to the crown he will hold after TakeOver.